The numbers are notoriously hard to pin down, but the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare says 11% of women in Australia aged between 40 and 44 have been diagnosed with the chronic inflammatory disease endometriosis. Endometriosis occurs when the lining of the uterus grows in places that it shouldn't, venturing into the pelvic cavity and sometimes even further. When left untreated, this rogue tissue can cause cysts and cramping and fuse internal organs together. As many women with endo will tell you, it can be very, very painful. For much of human history, pain has been seen as an intrinsic part of womanhood. According to the Abrahamic religions, the first woman ever, Eve, was dealt pain in childbirth as punishment for disobeying the word of God. In ancient Greece, Hippocrates, widely considered the father of medicine, popularised the idea of a wandering womb, a uterus that literally travelled around a woman's body and could trigger a condition that he named after the Greek word for uterus, hysteria. A hysterical woman was seen as difficult, irrational, dysfunctional, and certainly not fit for public life. Social and behavioural scientist Kate Young says hysteria was essentially a convenient shortcut for clinicians who didn't understand women's illnesses.
The reason why medicine probably couldn't provide such answers was because they weren't working with women. Women weren't having the opportunity to contribute to that knowledge, and the research wasn't being conducted on women.
By the 19th century, hysteria had been medicalised, reframed as a disease of the nervous system. Women who were likely suffering from conditions like endometriosis, epilepsy, anorexia or chronic fatigue were deemed hysterical, and treatments ranged from bloodletting with leeches to being locked away in an asylum. These days, endometriosis is better understood, but echoes of the past remain.
We are still seeing hallmarks of the hysteria myth in both practice and education of clinicians.
When it comes to chronic pain research, there's definitely been a strong gender bias. The irony is that the majority of people living with chronic pain will be women, yet 80% of the research has been done on men or even male mice.
Compared to men, women still wait longer for pain medication, are more likely to have their physical pain chalked up to things like anxiety or another mental health issue, and are more likely to have serious illnesses like cancer and heart disease misdiagnosed.
So much of education in the medical world is really about ongoing learning. And at the moment, the whole world of pain management is evolving so quickly that it's incredibly important that as doctors we keep up with the latest information.
We're half of the world's population. We have different needs, and it's time that we engage with that diversity.